The universe has a memory sharper than any blade, and balance is its weapon. Every action, every whisper of envy, every silent wish for your downfall, it all echoes. The ones who once smirked while throwing thorns on your path are now tripping over the very traps they set. Because cosmic law doesn't skip anyone. Fate doesn't forget. The same hands that tried to sabotage your steps are now shaking under the weight of their own karma. This isn't superstition. It's universal symmetry. And chosen one, you are not exempt from the balance. You are the reason it tilts. There's something unsettling about a person who keeps rising when others try to bury them. You haunt your enemies not by fighting them, but by glowing in places they swore you'd never enter. Your elevation is their unraveling. Every time they plot, the universe reroutes that energy back to their doorstep, dressed as a consequence. They wanted to dim you, but your light became a mirror, and now they can't unsee their own darkness. A silent war has been waged against you, not with weapons, but with whispers. But the irony? Every stone they threw became a stepping stone for your next level. And now they're forced to watch you rise in the very space they swore you'd collapse. This is the power of being chosen. Not loud, not chaotic, but undeniable. And if you're feeling this energy in your bones, don't just watch, like this video, subscribe, and stay aligned. The shift has already begun, and you're standing right in the center of it. If this message is hitting places in your soul that words can't fully explain, it's because you're not ordinary. These shifts, this pressure, this inner knowing, it only happens to the chosen. Most won't believe it because they were never meant to carry this level of calling, but you were. Stay with me until the very end, because what's unfolding next will confirm exactly why you've been set apart. Number 1. Stop ignoring the tug in your spirit. That discomfort is your soul awakening. The air has shifted, and if you're truly chosen, you've already felt it. Not with your 5 senses, but with something deeper, something ancient, something unshakable inside you that's been stirring for months, maybe years. Conversations that once made sense now feel scripted. People you once laughed with now feel like strangers in a play you've outgrown. Rooms you used to shine in now feel dim. Not because the light changed, but because you did. This isn't random discomfort. It's your spirit rejecting illusions. The veil over this world is thinning, and only those with awakened eyes can see what's really going on. You're not paranoid. You're perceptive. You're not sensitive. You're spiritually awake, and that awareness comes with weight, but also with power. The tension in the air, the energetic resistance you feel, the way your presence unsettles certain people. That's proof you're no longer vibrating on the same frequency as the noise around you. You've outgrown the surface level. You've outgrown false peace. The friction you feel isn't confusion. It's clarity breaking through. This isn't about religion. It's not emotional hype. It's evolution. You are stepping into alignment with a force that's far bigger than anything you can explain to people who haven't felt the shift. And don't bother trying to make them understand. They can't. Only the chosen recognize the tremble before the quake, the silence before the storm, the calling before the rise. This is not the season to explain. It's the season to embody. You're being asked to choose, but not with speeches or performance. With how you move, how you protect your peace, how you speak only when it adds to your power. This isn't about saying the right words anymore. It's about becoming the right energy. Before we go deeper into the 7 chapters, each one a torch to guide you through the dark, take a moment to honor the awakening. If this is resonating in your chest, not your mind, that's your confirmation. Comment the number 777 below. Not because it's trendy, but because you recognize the frequency. That number isn't random. It's a declaration, a code in the unseen that says, I walk in light, I stand in alignment, I rise without apology. And to every chosen one who shared this journey, Whether you've supported through super thanks or just by watching, liking or sharing, thank you. Your energy isn't just appreciated, it's felt. Every time you engage with this message, you help awaken someone else who's been silently waiting for the same confirmation you once needed. Now take a breath, lock in, because what comes next will speak to the part of you that the world keeps trying to silence, and it will remind you exactly why the separation had to happen. Number 2, quit shrinking to fit in. Being different is the price for real purpose. You tried, didn't you? Tried to dim your light just enough to make others comfortable. Tried to laugh at jokes that didn't resonate. Tried to shrink your energy, soften your brilliance, and downplay your vision, just to keep the peace. But every time you folded yourself to fit their world, something sacred inside you cracked. And chosen one, that ache you felt, that was purpose protesting. You were not built for average. You weren't sent here to blend into the background like wallpaper in someone else's narrative. You carry a frequency that disrupts illusions, a presence that shifts atmospheres, and a mind that sees through manipulation. Of course, they labeled you too intense, too sensitive, too much. That was never a critique. That was a confession. They couldn't handle the weight of your truth. Being different isn't punishment. It's proof. Proof that your mission isn't copy-pasted from the crowd. It was carved in silence, prepared in isolation, and marked by resistance. That uneasiness you feel when you're around shallow energy, that's your soul recognizing misalignment. And no matter how much you try to mold yourself into their comfort zone, you will never find peace there. Because your peace is tied to your power, and your power can't be found in pretending. So stop apologizing. Stop explaining your essence to people who were never assigned to understand it. Your difference is the assignment. It's what makes you chosen. And yes, it comes with a price: loneliness, misunderstanding, resistance. But it also comes with legacy, clarity, and impact. Shrinking only delays your becoming. Number 3. Don't be fooled by the applause. Darkness is now wearing a mask of light. Don't be fooled, chosen one. Just because it sparkles doesn't mean it's sacred, and just because the world claps doesn't mean what it's celebrating is pure. Darkness has learned to disguise itself, not in shadows, but in spotlight. It doesn't hide anymore. It performs. It seduces. It cloaks itself in charm, status, influence, and it dares to call itself light. You've seen it. Maybe you've even felt tempted to applaud it, because from a distance, illusion is convincing. But the closer you get, the more the mask starts to slip. The energy feels off. The smiles seem scripted. The integrity feels hollow, and that's not coincidence. That's your discernment sharpening. That's your spirit refusing to be hypnotized. Don't mistake noise for purpose. Don't confuse popularity with purity. Just because something is widely accepted doesn't mean it's divinely aligned. This is the final separation, and one of the biggest battles will be learning to recognize real light in a world addicted to artificial shine. The enemy doesn't need you to fall. He just needs you distracted. He wants you following influences instead of your intuition. He wants you to admire charisma while ignoring character. But you weren't made to blend into deception. You were built to expose it by simply being real in a world built on masks. Chosen one, your authenticity is your weapon. Your silence carries more weight than their stage. Don't chase the crowd. Stay aligned. Because when the lights go out and the performance ends, truth remains. And the ones who stood in it, even when it cost them applause, will be the ones still standing. You don't need approval, you need alignment, and your spirit already knows which one to choose. Number 4. Stop drifting through life. Your power is hidden in every small choice. Chosen one, drifting is not your destiny. You weren't created to float through life like debris on the surface, tossed by waves of distraction, fear, and comfort. That hollow feeling you've been carrying, That's the weight of choices left unclaimed. Because here's the truth. Your power doesn't just live in grand moments. It's buried in the silent, small decisions you keep avoiding. Every time you ignore the whisper to grow, every time you numb the ache to change, every time you delay alignment for temporary ease, you give your power away. Not all at once, but slowly. And that's how the enemy works, not with explosions, but with erosion, not with destruction, but with detours. He doesn't need to destroy your purpose. He only needs to keep you distracted long enough to forget it ever existed. You keep waiting for a sign. But what if the sign is the discomfort? What if the boredom is the alarm? What if the pressure you feel isn't punishment, it's permission? Permission to choose again, to course correct, to wake up. Because the tiniest choice, what you feed your mind, who you allow near your energy, how you speak to yourself in silence, shapes your legacy louder than any performance. This isn't about perfection, it's about presence. It's about waking up to your own authority. The power you're searching for has been in your hands the whole time, but it only activates when you choose. So don't just exist. Don't just survive. Decide. Because chosen one, the ones who rise, aren't the ones who wait for a miracle. They are the ones who choose it over and over again until their life becomes proof that even the smallest step can shift entire realms. Number 5. Don't fight the silence. Isolation is the furnace that forges your strength. Chosen one, silence was never your enemy. It was your initiation. While others chase noise to feel relevant, you were pulled into quiet so your power could sharpen. Isolation isn't punishment. It's preparation. It's where illusions are stripped and truth becomes loud enough to hear. You weren't abandoned. You were chosen to be hidden. Not from the world, but from everything that wasn't aligned with where you're headed. At first, it felt like a loss. The texts stopped. The rooms grew colder. The conversations dried up. But look closer. That emptiness? It was space being cleared for something greater. You had to be removed from the noise so your vision could stop being distorted by distraction. Silence became the mirror. And in that mirror, you met the version of yourself that couldn't be manipulated, couldn't be lied to, couldn't be stopped. This is the furnace, and yes, it burns, but it also builds. Diamonds don't form in comfort. Leaders don't rise in crowds, and warriors don't get sharpened in applause. The silence taught you what noise never could. That your worth isn't found in who claps for you, but in who you become when no one is watching. You don't crave attention anymore. You crave alignment, and that shift alone makes you dangerous to everything that once tried to destroy you. They thought taking people away from you would break you, but it built you. Because solitude didn't starve you, it fed you. It activated the part of you that doesn't need validation to walk in truth. Number 6. Stop blaming people. What you're facing is a clash of realms, not emotions. You've been wasting sacred energy trying to make sense of chaos through human logic, trying to explain shifts with psychology, trying to label pain as personal. But chosen one, this isn't about people. This isn't about mood swings or misunderstandings. What you're feeling is a clash of realms, and you were placed at the very center of it. You keep asking why certain people suddenly turned cold, why atmospheres change the moment you walk in, why your peace gets attacked when you didn't even say a word. It's not them, it's the energy behind them. When light steps into the room, darkness doesn't ask questions, it reacts. Sometimes through tension, sometimes through silence, and often through betrayal disguised as misunderstanding. You're not battling flesh. You're disrupting spiritual ecosystems. Your frequency is too high to be ignored. That's why people who once celebrated you now resist you. That's why old circles suddenly feel hostile. You're triggering everything in them that's still unhealed, still hiding, still compromised. Stop blaming people. Stop internalizing rejection. Start recognizing alignment. When your spirit expands, Those who are out of sync with your light will fall away. That's not drama, it's divine filtration. This is war, but not one with swords and shouts. This is frequency warfare. This is vibration versus manipulation, truth versus illusion. And chosen one, you're the disruptor, you're the reset. You're the one walking into rooms carrying energy that doesn't need to speak to shift the atmosphere. So instead of questioning your worth, honor your placement. You weren't sent to blend in, you were sent to divide. Not people, but energies. Not personalities, but dimensions. And your mere presence is already doing what words never could, breaking what was never real to begin with. Number 7. Don't wait for the perfect time. Your rise begins the moment you say yes. Chosen one, stop waiting for stars to align when the universe is already watching you move them. The perfect time isn't coming, it's already here, wrapped in discomfort, disguised in delay, cloaked in the silence that's been testing your patience. The truth. Waiting for the right moment is the illusion that keeps most people stuck, but not you. You were never meant to wait for permission. You were meant to activate timelines with a single yes. The rise doesn't start when life gets easier. It starts when you decide to stop running from your calling. Right now, in the chaos, in the storm, in the space between who you were and who you're becoming. Your elevation isn't something you stumble into. It's something you step into, deliberately, boldly, even when you feel unsure. And don't let the world fool you. The path ahead doesn't get clearer with time. It gets clearer with movement. Waiting for clarity before you act is like demanding the fire to warm you before you strike the match. The heat doesn't come until you light it. Your yes is the spark. This is the twist. Everything you've been waiting for has been waiting on you. Not the polished version, not the confident one, just the real one. The one who's scared but still standing, the one who doubts but still dares. Chosen one, your rise begins the moment you say, I won't shrink anymore, I won't delay anymore, I accept the assignment. Because you're not behind, you're right on time. For a shift so massive, even your enemies will have to watch in silence. Say yes, not because you feel ready, but because you were born for this. And once you do, the universe won't hesitate to respond. Number 8. Quit chasing motivation. This isn't just encouragement, it's a divine mandate. Chosen one, this isn't just a pep talk to boost your mood for the day. This is a direct call to rise. You weren't led here to feel temporarily inspired. You were summoned here to remember who you are and why everything around you has been shaking. Motivation fades, hype wears off. But what's calling you right now isn't momentary, it's eternal. This isn't about chasing some emotional high or waiting for the stars to align. You are the alignment, you are the signal, and the universe is already moving because you're finally starting to wake up. Too many people treat this journey like it's optional, like purpose is something you reach for only when you feel good. But you weren't built to be seasonal. You weren't wired to be occasional. You were formed to be unshakable. That's why temporary motivation no longer works for you. That's why regular advice can't reach you. Because you weren't meant to be influenced. You were meant to be ignited. What you carry isn't a dream, it's a mandate, a force pressing from within that refuses to let you settle. And yes, it will feel heavy at times, but that weight you feel, that's your crown, that's your fire, that's your confirmation. Stop looking for another quote, another video, another reason to start. You are the reason, you are the movement. And this moment isn't asking for your feelings. It's demanding your obedience to what's already been revealed. So take this as your reminder. You're not here to feel inspired. You're here to be activated. This isn't motivation. It's an awakening. Stand up, lock in, and move like your future has already begun, because it has. Number 9. Stop taking rejection personally. It's not cruelty, it's your refinement. Rejection isn't always a knife, sometimes it's a scalpel. And Chosen One, in your case, it was never meant to wound you. It was meant to reshape you. The ones who turned their backs, ghosted, excluded, or couldn't handle your presence, they weren't being cruel, they were being used. Used by the universe to cut away everything that couldn't come with you to the next dimension of your purpose. You keep asking, why did they leave? When the real question is, why did you ever think they were meant to stay? You weren't abandoned, you were extracted, pulled out of spaces that celebrated your silence but rejected your strength. And when you tried to tone it down, to be more digestible, more normal, the rejection only deepened. That's because the truth in you was never meant to be hidden. It was meant to shake rooms. And the more you aligned with your power, the more incompatible they became. That wasn't punishment. That was purification. Chosen ones don't get the luxury of blending in. You were never built to be accepted by the crowd. You were built to outgrow it. So when rejection shows up, stop taking it personally. It's not a reflection of your lack. It's a confirmation of your light. Their inability to value you isn't your failure. It's your filter. Some losses are hidden promotions. Some exits are divine upgrades. They didn't break you. They revealed you. And now you walk differently. You see clearly. You carry fire. Let them misunderstand. Let them stay confused. What they labeled as too much was always your calling in disguise. You weren't rejected. You were refined. You weren't discarded. You were distilled. And now you rise sharper than ever. Undeniable, untouchable, chosen. Number 10. Don't rush visibility. You were hidden to be hardened for the real battle. Chosen one, the silence wasn't neglect. The hiding wasn't punishment. It was protection. You weren't buried. You were being built. While others fought for the spotlight, you were being sharpened in the shadows. And now that the light is shifting toward you, don't let the illusion of now or never trick you out of your timing. Visibility without readiness is a trap, not a triumph. And you weren't called to just be seen. You were called to shake realms. You see, those who crave instant exposure usually collapse under the weight of what they beg to carry. But not you. Your isolation wasn't a delay. It was divine strategy. Every quiet season, every unnoticed effort, every overlooked gift was part of your preparation. You were being hardened, not in heart, but in spirit. You were being fortified for a battle most don't even realize is happening. The real war isn't won on platforms, it's won in silence. It's won in the midnight wrestle between staying broken or rising with purpose. It's won when you choose alignment over applause. The world will tell you to hurry up, to force your rise. But the truth? Only the forged can lead, and only the chosen understand the cost of being truly ready. So if you've ever wondered why you were hidden so long, it's because exposure too early would have ruined what endurance was meant to reveal. When the world finally sees you, they won't recognize the version of you they ignored, because the you that's emerging now carries fire, precision, authority. You're not coming back as who they remember. You're arriving as who you were always meant to become. And that, chosen one, is a level no spotlight can manufacture. Number 11. Stop playing small. The enemy fears your voice. That's why he's after it. You've been shrinking in rooms you were born to command, dimming your light to make others comfortable, when in truth, your very presence was meant to disrupt what's false. You've mistaken the resistance you face as a sign to quiet down, when it's actually the loudest confirmation that your voice carries weight. Don't you get it, chosen one? You were never under attack because you were weak. You were under attack because you were powerful. And your voice? That's the weapon they fear the most. They didn't try to silence you because you were wrong. They tried to silence you because you were right. You don't even need a crowd to cause impact. Your energy alone speaks volumes before you say a single word. That's why the sabotage has been so subtle. The enemy doesn't need to destroy you, he just needs to distract you long enough to make you doubt your value. But not anymore. The final separation is here, and the ones who try to mute the truth are being exposed by it. When you speak, chains crack, cycles weaken, patterns break. Your voice doesn't just express, it awakens. That's why you were chosen. You weren't picked to perform. You were selected to shake the ground, to carry the sound of something real in a world addicted to pretending. So stop waiting for permission. Stop minimizing your presence to protect their insecurities. Speak, not to be heard, but to be felt. The enemy has always feared one thing, your full expression. Why? Because once you remember who you are, you're unstoppable. So say it louder, not with noise, but with purpose. Say it through your truth, your clarity, your refusal to bow. Your voice is not just your power, it is your proof, and the world is about to hear you. Number 12. Don't just survive this season, you're being called to lead generations out. Chosen one, this isn't just a tough season, it's a proving ground, a cosmic recalibration. You weren't thrown into the fire to be burned, you were placed there to become the flame. The pressure you feel isn't a sign you're failing, it's confirmation that you carry something weightier than your current environment can contain. You're not just fighting for survival, you're carrying blueprints that will break generational chains. The voices in your head that whisper, "Just make it through." Silence them. That's survival mode talking. But you weren't built to survive. You were born to shift. The decisions you're making in silence, the boundaries you've drawn in private, the moments where you've chosen integrity over comfort, they aren't just shaping you. They're creating ripple effects that will echo through timelines you'll never even see. People around you may not understand the weight you carry. They don't see the spiritual heaviness behind your silence, or the strength it takes to rise when your soul is tired. But that's because they weren't chosen to carry it. You were. And the breakthrough you're building will become the map others follow out of the very darkness you had to walk through alone. So don't retreat, don't settle, don't just get through it, because while others are watching the clock, you're rewiring the future. This is bigger than your story. It's your legacy, and when you rise, generations will rise with you. And as we close this message, remember, this moment in your life is not random, and neither is your role in it. You're not here just to endure the storm. You were born to rewrite the atmosphere it leaves behind. The weight you carry is the very evidence of the change you're meant to bring. So if this word found you at the right time, trust it was meant for you. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment if your spirit confirms it. You're not just chosen, you're chosen to lead, and your rise has only just begun.